Okay, today we have Charles Jiang here, who is going to be the candidate in Markham-Unionville, and he's here to talk about his candidacy, and I'm here to talk about what we need from the next government of Ontario, which hopefully will be the PC government. So go ahead, Charles.
Thank you, Peter. My fellow Ontarians, my friends, I'm from Markham-Unionville. My name is Charles Jiang. I have been working very hard in the last 2 years, almost half now, in the Markham-Unionville region. We have successfully worked in the last federal election to make sure that we set the ground for a conservative movement in Markham-Unionville. We're very happy that we now have a new leader, Mr. Doug Ford, as the leader for Ontario PC Party. As we get ready for the provincial election, we're talking here with Peter, my friend here at the Plasticap, the corporation, which is I'm very, very impressed when I was touring the plant earlier. Now, 25 years ago, I have to say, I was a engineer in the manufacturing sector, work on floor like this, so I sort of brought a lot of memory back when I was working in Silicon Valley as well as Austin, Texas. We briefly talked about my working experience. Yeah. I am actually a mechanical engineer by training, but today I am getting myself ready to be a candidate representing the PC Party, wearing PC Party blue. We're very, very excited that Markham-Unionville will select a right candidate, what will be me, representing the PC Party. And we're going to help our leader, Doug Ford, secure this riding, Markham-Unionville. It's a key important riding, such as Richmond Hill as well. We are very much responsible for creating a lot of jobs, high-tech, manufacturing, pharmaceutical, food business. We need to bring manufacturing jobs back to Ontario. And after 15 years, Ontarians are feeling the pinch from high hydro prices, residential, institutional-wise, and people are not finding jobs after they graduate. So we need company such as this. We need to help people like Peter to have a less of a burden to create jobs.
So I want to mention when I met Charles actually through one of our local councillors here in Richmond Hill, and Charles had organized a meeting with one of the leadership candidates, and then subsequently organized a meeting with all of the leadership candidates. And what really impressed me about Charles was when I spoke to him about our issues, he understood, first of all, coming from a manufacturing background, but he also listened to what not only I was saying, but other people in the room were saying. He was able to get those messages across to the leaders prior to Doug Ford being chosen as leader, and Doug has that message. And so, we need this government to be successful. We need them to be led by a party that understands that private sector jobs pay for government, and we have lost so many private sector jobs. There's a decline in the last 15 years while the Liberals were in power, from a high of 42% of the population working in the private sector. It's down now to 34%, and we really need to bring those jobs back. We need good paying jobs. That's what creates your revenue base, and that's what pays for government. And I think that the PCs are the ones who can do that, bring some sanity back. And here at Plasticap, we're looking at expanding and growing. Unfortunately, right now, we're looking at south of the border. We're hoping that after the June election, like I said, this sanity comes back and policies change so that we can continue to expand and grow here in Ontario. I'm born here, raised here. I'm a Canadian, so are many, and many of the manufacturers that are in our coalition. So we have this coalition of concerned manufacturers. We have over 150 companies, thousands of employees, all of them depending upon sanity coming back to government and policies that will help keep jobs and grow jobs here. There's too many people working at the low end of the scale. There's no need for that. We bring good paying jobs back, raises everybody up.
Good.
Do you have, actually, I see that you have your assistant with us here today, Victor.
Nice to meet you.
Exactly.
Nice to meet you too. Have you got maybe some questions that you want to pose?
I do. So I think I try to speak for the new graduates. And as I exit the school and go into the job market, I'm seeing now the impact that all of these liberal policies have had on finding private sector jobs. So as I try to find a career for myself here in Ontario, where I went to school, I was raised here, and I've always wanted to stay here out of a sense of like Canadianship. Rather than trying to seek opportunities south of the border, how can we sort of create an opportunity where we prevent brain drain, where all of our young, talented graduates aren't forced to leave to find better opportunity?
You know, one of the things, appreciate the question, one of the things that kind of offends me a little bit is when people talk about millennials. So I have two sons. One is probably exactly your age, who just graduated from U of T and entered the workforce last year, and I look at that generation as the generation who's going to build this country, and you know, you've got to look at. I see more optimism out of people coming out of university now, your age, than I've seen in the past. I think really the millennials are the generation who are going to help fix everything, and they're the ones who have to look at the situation, understand that you know, there is no freebies in the world. When the government offers you free money, it's not free. It's coming out of your back pocket, going into your front pocket, and it's missing some money on the way. So you know, you've got to look at a party that comes in that's going to create opportunity for you in the future. So I'm very optimistic actually about the generation that's now graduating and are looking for jobs. And I think, you know, with the right motivation, and I mean political motivation, that the government can create a climate that's going to offer you a career here, a high-paying career, a rewarding career, something you enjoy doing. And it's not all about money. It's about personal satisfaction. But I tell you, there's too many people working at the bottom end of the scale, and we have to bring those people up and give them opportunity, get them educated, and get them good-paying jobs.
Right, Peter. You know, that's the reason I brought Victor along. You know, we had an extensive talk right after Victor joined my campaign team. I understand that Victor got a lot of friends who went to the States and they find the jobs there. You know, I know Victor's parents very well because we're alumni friends, and I'm sure his parents love to see, you know, his son find a job, establish a family, buy an affordable home, and be able to become the creators of the next generation economy. And Peter, you're absolutely correct. People like you have wisdom, set up a great company like this, create jobs, but we need those so-called millennial generation coming here to fill in.
Exactly. They need the same opportunity that we had.
Yes.
It's way too tough for people coming out of school now. The housing is unaffordable,
right?
And the jobs are not there. You know, there's too many missed opportunities, and I think we can make a difference. So
one thing I find out, Peter, is I don't know, by talking to your son and daughter, you know, people like Victor is not just like other young people, maybe the previous generation people saying, you know, all I'm interested in is a government job, I get a nice pension. But, you know, people understand they're smarter than every generation before them. They know they're interested in being entrepreneurs. They want to join a growing, booming company, and they want to be part of a growing business, not just a government pension job. Because what this liberal government, the McGuinty government, the Catherine Wayne government in the last 15 years or so, Peter, you mentioned, they have enlarged the workforce in the public sector at the expense of the private sector. What we need to do is we need to create an economy that can really see booming manufacturing, high tech, pharmaceutical, manufacturing in general, food business, and bring along with tourism. That way, that young generation of people who have entrepreneurial mindset, they're ready to go. They can really participate in the economy.
Well, you said it, and the entrepreneurial spirit, that if you miss that in this generation coming up, it will be gone.
Right.
You know, why would somebody coming out of school now be motivated to start a business and look at it as a potential failure? You know, it's something that we've got to get that entrepreneurial spirit back into these people coming out of school, and show them that there's an opportunity, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that there's something for them there. You know, people our age, and I know you're younger than me, but people my age, you know, you're right. We have some wisdom, but I'll tell you, our brain doesn't work as fast as young people, and you need both. You need to have guidance, and you need to have smart people, and this is one of the smartest generations coming up right now.
Absolutely agree.
And we really need to support it.
And I would implore everyone in my generation, don't just sit and wait for others to make your decision. Don't sit on your hands and expect government to get things done for you. You need to get involved, and you need to create your future. Take it in your own hands and get involved. Always make sure that you are in control of your own destiny. And I think together, all of us working together, we can make Ontario the place for everyone to be again.
I want to add, Peter, what you're doing with the coalition that you're involved with, that's a great cause. I want you to sort of briefly mention about a little bit, you know, why you're passionate about this coalition. What do you see when Doug Ford finally get in Queen's Park, this PC government? What do you expect from us, the PC government? What we can work together?
So there's a number of pillars. We've got to do something about hydro.
Yeah.
We've got to have an industrial rate that's competitive with the U.S., and that means 9 cents a kilowatt all in, not 20 cents a kilowatt, which is what we're currently paying. We have to do something about the recent workplace changes. Bill 148 has put undue stress, aside from the minimum wage. I don't think anybody has a problem with the minimum wage being $14 an hour. But, and Doug said it himself, reduce the taxes on those people. Don't increase the wages further, just reduce the taxes, increase their take-home pay. That's the key. That keeps the burden off of us, and it puts more money in people's pockets. So the other thing that we need is we need the ability to write off capital expenditures in 1 year, the way they do in the US and Germany and other parts of the world. That encourages us to buy machinery and equipment and expand. And we need reduced taxes. We've got to put the money back into business so that we can put the money into the pockets of people with high-paying jobs. I'll just move aside here. Coalition of Concerned Manufacturers of Ontario. That's our website. Go to our Facebook page and help support us.
Great. Thank you, Peter.
Good. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.